June is National Black Music Month. It's a time when we recognize the unique contributions made by African Americans to the world of music. Drum TV correspondent Day-D.Day has a special report on the images and impact of each genre, from bebop to hip-hop.
It's been said that America's only truly original cultural contributions to the world are jazz and animated cartoons. Certainly jazz and hip-hop music are two distinctly American musical genres. Each was born in the fertile soil of the African American experience. As cultural exports, the music is embraced around the world. The images of jazz and hip-hop influence world fashion, art, language, and political consciousness among African Americans and non-African Americans alike. Both musical forms originally sparked controversy as they evolved, yet their similarities and appeal are universally identified with African American style and creativity.
The similarities are that the music in itself has the same kind of worldwide appeal and the same kind of worldwide weight. It's carrying a lot of weight around the globe. People in Japan are appreciating hip-hop the same way they have embraced and appreciated jazz through the years. Same thing in all of Europe and all over the world.
Jazz is as much a world phenomenon, and in fact is more owned by the world than it is by the United States of America. Many of our more prominent jazz musicians, Dexter Gordon, for example, found prominence in Europe before they could find it here. And when you take a look at who owns a lot of the rights to a lot of the music, you will discover that it's Europeans, Japanese, European Americans. It's not African Americans, in fact.
Yo, wake up, ghetto children, wake up, ghetto children.
So next time you find yourself mesmerized by a black girl behind you, stop and think what a black girl in tight jeans is secretly doing to your mind. Hip-hop, because it is predominantly a youth culture. You have people being put out into the world to be responsible and to be for everybody, but they've not learned who they are. And the people who are helping them make money are not helping them create and recreate themselves or even know who they are.
Think about the little passage and where we say, well, we were once kings and princes and all this, and we had an eye on the world, and we could, do anything, and we still do. There's just that dormant aspect of it that needs to be reawakened in us, individually as well as collectively.
Because a lot of times if you're in a group of kids and you don't look at them, you can't tell what nationality they are. They all want to be in this hip-hop culture, and I don't really know why.
Well, I think in the last 10 years, hip-hop has exploded. It has not grown arithmetically, if you will. It has grown geometrically. And I don't think there's a part of American or world culture that does not reflect that enormous growth. I mean, from capitalism to socialism from China to Saudi Arabia, everywhere in the world, a hip-hop culture can be felt.
American economy and the economy of the world is, it's very clear. One thing is for certain, and they've recognized the marketing power of hip-hop. Hip-hop is now introduced into every marketing aspect of the economy.
Yo, wake up, ghetto children, wake up, ghetto children.
The third annual Harlem Book Fair is coming to town with a wealth of stories and inspirations. Let's listen in as Stanley Crouch reads from his latest novel, Don't the Moon Look Lonesome?
The section I'm now going to read is somewhat of a comical section because it's set in a bar after a party in Washington, D.C. for one of the characters named Cecilia, who had started a school called the Excellence Academy. And that school was started by Cecilia because she wanted to deal with the problems of educating black kids who were supposedly incapable of being educated. So this is when they're talking about rappers and what they're like, at least one group of them anyway. Songs at the Excellence Academy, like Deep River, were sung because part of Cecilia's idea about the Excellence Academy, EA to you, was that all of these children had to be reminded not only of who they were, but of what living meant at its best. Those Negro spirituals arrived from a time when black people were more in touch with the spirituality of their culture and of life itself. Now niggas didn't even have a spiritual position in the culture. From a cultural perspective, they now took their positions next to or below the crudest Jews and Italians. They represented the most crass kind of materialism with their gold chains and their gold teeth and their obsession with brand names. Like one fool who called himself Travesty X-Lax because, as he said, I pumps out all the yo and my turns to gold yo.
Do you think the sentence Reverend Sharpton received from the judge in Puerto Rico was fair?
They didn't even give him time to get a lawyer. They didn't give him time to prepare for a trial. They said that he was guilty and put him in prison for, gave him a 90-day sentence and gave the other three a 40-day sentence.
I don't think the Bush administration directly had anything to do with it, but I think there's elements within the Republican Party that went beyond their role and took it upon themselves to put pressure upon the political system in Puerto Rico.
It was very unfair. The only reason he got that sentence imposed upon him because, first of all, because of who he is and what he stands for.
Why is it that he got more than the rest of them? I don't think it was a fair sentence. It was too much. 90 days was too much for him.
He should get 90, they should get 40. They're all fighting for the same thing. They all did the same thing. It's just to try to deter him from what's going on down.
We all know that it wasn't fair. We're wondering what happened to civil liberty if it's gone out of the window today. That, we can't protest freely as a human being against things that is wrong. So I think it was unfair, but we know what the system is all about.
I think it was unfair, it was too harsh for him. And I believe they only did it because the man is black and because he announced that he was running for president. And they just want to find anything against the man to put him down.
Really, he was only trying to fight for what he thought was right in a peaceful way. And now he's going to get jail time. But now look at the 41 shots. They killed that man. Maybe they should have got 90 days in jail, at least.
I mean, I respect Al Sharpton, but I mean, why you over there? In Puerto Rico, you can't be going to all these countries like that, thinking that these people are going to sit up there and let you do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, for me, I wouldn't have done it because I really don't trust nobody out of the country. You know what I'm saying? Saddam Hussein, whoever. I don't really like going out of the country half of the time. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna keep me over there, all strung out in jail somewhere, in a dungeon somewhere. I mean, hey, I just hope that they kind of change their mind a little bit, before, really, before something really happens for us black people come over there and go get them. You know what I'm saying? If the protect ain't gonna do nothing, if the president ain't gonna do nothing, we coming to get you.
That's it for this week's show. We hope you enjoyed watching Uptown as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Visit our website for more information on tonight's stories. Let us know what you think of Uptown and what you'd like to see on upcoming shows. We love to hear from you, and we especially want to know what you think about our 125th Street Soapbox. You'll find us on 125th Street and 7th Avenue every Saturday afternoon. Good night. I'm your host, Jessie Rodriguez. We'll see you next week and every week at this same time. And remember, Uptown is a state of mind.